Hello, everyone. In this session, we want to talk about Hyper-V checkpoints. Checkpoints are a feature of Windows Server 2012 R2 Hyper-V that allows you to roll a virtual machine back to a previous state. Let us say, for example, that you wanted to perform an administrative action that you think might be potentially dangerous. For example, maybe you wanted to install some drivers, maybe you wanted to make a check on the registry, you wanted to change an item in the registry, and you don't know whether or not this action will result in your system becoming unstable. Well, here is where checkpoints come into play. Before you make that change, that potentially dangerous change, what you want to do is to create a checkpoint. Let us go into Hyper-V. We're going to click on Tools, Hyper-V Manager. And here we have our Hyper-V machine. It's called Class VM. And what we want to do is simply right-click on the VM machine and click Create Checkpoint. When we create checkpoint, we can see that we have two objects here below checkpoint. We have Now and we have Class VM. The checkpoint is really a read-only copy of your machine at the particular point in time. Once the checkpoint has been created, you can then perform whatever administrative task you want to do. For example, making the change in the registry. If the task that you're performing is successful, then you should delete the checkpoint upon completion. To delete the checkpoint, you simply right-click on the checkpoint and you click on Delete Checkpoint. If you have an entire series of checkpoints that you need to remove, you can simply save time by using the Delete Checkpoint subtree command instead. If the change that you made has not been successful and something has gone terribly wrong, and you need to revert that virtual machine to a previous state, then what you do is to right-click on the checkpoint and you click Apply. When you do that, when you click on Apply, Windows will offer you the opportunity to create another checkpoint before applying the checkpoint. So let's click on Apply. And Windows is going to ask you, are you sure you want to apply the selected checkpoint? The virtual machine's current state will be lost. So your option is to create checkpoint and apply. That way, you can undo the application of the checkpoint if necessary. So if you install a driver or if you made a change in the registry and something went wrong, then you're going to be able to revert back to the machine state before you made the change. It is recommended that you shut down the virtual machine before applying a checkpoint. We're going to cancel this apply checkpoint box. There's one thing that I want to point out to you. A checkpoint is different from a backup. So you don't want to use checkpoint in place of a backup. When you create a checkpoint, what you are really doing is creating a differencing disk. Remember, we talked about differencing disk in a previous lesson. So we are creating a differencing disk. Remember, differencing disk has a parent. And we are flagging the virtual machine's original virtual hard disk as read only. So this means that you are not creating a copy of the virtual hard disk. And checkpoints, therefore, do not and will not protect against hard disk failures or storage corruption. Checkpoints can be a handy feature, but they can also cause some problems unless you fully understand the implications of using them. So be careful when you are creating checkpoints, and remember, do not use a checkpoint in place of a backup. This is the end of our session on checkpoints. I want to thank you for listening.